I think it's that fact that they are not, that the FBI was in on it. And I honestly, after this experience, I think the FBI was created to protect these people
Well, the
that control
FBI
everyone. I,
historically
honest to God,
has
because they have,
always run interference for organized crime. Like J. Edgar Hoover never pursued the mob, and Wexner's tied to that same mob that he was
okay.
covering up. You know what I mean? So, um,
Oh my God, yes,
yeah, so it goes way back pretty
yes.
much to the beginning of the
Okay.
FBI. So,
Well,
yeah, I mean,
I
that's
took it
definitely,
personally.
yeah, that's definitely why.
Yeah.
So,
The other thing, I'm jumping around. I'm jumping around, but while we're on the subject of the FBI, I just want to explain the level of abuse I've endured. So basically, when I told them everything, I was on the phone for 45 minutes with my first report, right after talking to the NYPD. As we're getting off the phone, he says, "Don't tell anybody."
wow.
Who says that to someone? And not only that, I had asked, "Are you going to do anything to protect me or anything?" And they said, "No, no, no, no." Okay, so then 10 years later, they come to me in North Carolina. And I'll tell you about this one woman, Nesbitt Kirkendall. I don't know if you know anything about her, but she was a serious hero in this. She really, really wanted to get Epstein. And she was my agent. And now they think that she might be in witness protection because no one can get in touch with her, but she's still with the FBI, but no one can find her. And Brad Edwards, like every time he would find her house, they'd say she moved out in the middle of the night, like 7 different times. So he's never been able to talk to her. But
Wow.
I've talked to her a few times, and yeah, Nesbitt was amazing. She's like a superhero, Whitney. You would love her. She's brilliant, and she really, really, really cared, and she knew that children were being harmed, and it was killing her because she has children. And she said, I tell you what, we're going to get him, Maria. I promise you. And she was just the coolest lady in the world. I believed her, and she believed it, right? And she was a champion for this. She had worked on it for years. So then when she came to me, I said, "Oh, God, is this about my student loans?" The FBI's at my door. And they're like, "Oh, no, no, no." And they thought that was really cute. And then they came in, and I was like, "I don't know what to serve you guys." So I served them like cookies and orange juice. And they're like, "Maria, no one serves the FBI anything." But anyway, Annie tried to sell them Arbonne. It was like a pyramid scheme she was in. But so anyway, but after all this, like, I asked, okay, so they wanted me to testify in Florida and Annie to testify in Florida. And they said, we can't offer any of the victims witness protection. What is
That's
that?
that's nuts.
What is that?
That's criminal. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Acosta made sure that everything was, ruined. And I got a call from Nesbitt, and she was crying, and I didn't even understand what she said. And she was talking about they'd lost, and I didn't understand. So no one ever said, "Hey, by the way, they let him off." No one ever said that to Annie and I. So we were still waiting to testify until like 5 years ago. We're like, "Do you think we're going to go testify in Florida soon?" Like, no one ever communicated with us. Okay, so they swept Nesbitt away. Like, they took her off because they didn't want this solved, right? So they got rid of her on the case after all the years of work she'd dedicated herself to this. So they get rid of her, this genius, and then they settle with him. No one ever says anything to us. Then but before all that, I was already in hiding because of Vanity Fair.